Good morning to all of you. Welcome to Legal Matters by Sai Baba Sankara. I have seen in the press, it happened in Brazil country, Apple company, Apple Inc. It was fined a whooping amount of $10,000 for deficiency of service by the Brazilian court. You may be knowing, Apple company is an international company, and of course, even though it is a multinational company, they have to follow the rule of the land. They can't take extra jurisdiction. They have to abide by the local law. That's why the elders say, when you are in Rome, feel like a Roman or behave like a Roman. That's all. Brazil has got solid or sordid consumer laws. Consumer protection is the main important aspect of one of the governance parts of Brazil. Right. So why Apple company was fined $10,000 on March 21st of 2021 by the judge of Goiás. His name is Wanderlei Clarice Pinheiro of Goiás State. He is the district judge. He has imposed the fine. Why this thing happened? Better to go to the facts of the case. You all know Apple is a very highly respected, reputed company from USA. Right? Every year they will be changing the models. You also are aware that from 2020 they have stopped supplying the so-called adapter or the cable for charging and also earphones. Previously, whenever we purchase any cell phone, maybe Vivo, maybe Oppo, maybe Samsung or some other companies, normally it is a definite that they provide the phone along with the charger, the adapter and also the earphones. But from 2020, this particularly Apple company, they are not supplying the so-called extra material. Suppose if you want to purchase the earpods, we call them as Apple iPods. You have to spend about $7,100 or so. Right? Now, of course, since we Indians are crazy of the so-called phone, we keep quiet. Normally we have got empathy or sympathy, whatever you call it. We don't claim. But in Brazil, the customer did not keep quiet. The customer or the consumer, he filed a case against Apple Inc. stating that he was not given the flashlight adapter or the cable wire. I don't know the technical jargon used for that purpose. So the court took it on file, gave a notice to the Apple company. Yes, of course. They argued that in order to minimize the environmental impact due to the use of the electronic goods, they started stopping or they are not supplying the chargers. Then the judge said, and another point also they said, as regard the charging, that is charging, this is called port. In this port, any other charger also, any other cable wire also can be inserted and it can be charged. Then the judge immediately said, I am a user of the so-called iPhone. The other cell phone cable, the cable charges are not at all fitting into. Number one, not agreed. Second point, as regard the impact on environment, no doubt definitely electronic usage is definitely having an impact on the environment. If you want to stop the supply of the adapter or charger, or the people not going to buy your phone, then why don't you go to the extent of, if you are so much sure of environmental protection, why don't you stop the production? So is Apple phone not detrimental to the environment? Definitely it is detrimental to the environmental this thing. So why don't you stop production? Why don't you stop selling them? So this is the view taken by the judge, and immediately he has imposed that fine. And meanwhile, the advocates also stated that he has got complaints from consumers. What? The person who is having iPhone 11 So when he complained, when he got it to the service point, they didn't repair it properly. And there is another allegation that the Apple company is purposefully reducing the battery power of the lower end phones, that is iPhone 11. Of course, I am sorry to say that this as 2021, the incident entire took place on iPhone 12. iPhone 12, they did not supply the so-called charger, they supply the adapter as well as the earphones. But please remember, in Brazil, the consumer laws are very rigid. So whenever you give a product, you have to give the answers also which are 100% essential. Of course, if they are not essential, they can charge extra. But here, so without a charger, how can you use a cell phone? So for this, Apple company said, Your Honor, already many people are having the persons who buy the latest version of the Apple phones, they got the chargers already and they can be used. But they said, no, it is not correct. Somebody out of fancy, suppose young boy engineer there, he has earned money, his first salary is about 1 lakh or so. He wanted to go for iPhone 13. So do you mean is that he will have charger? No, it's not correct. This argument is also not correct. So basing on the above points, he has imposed the fine. So in this case, 3 points are important. Please remember. Number 1, consumer laws. Consumer laws, no doubt we got Consumer Protection Act 2019. It is also a very good act. Likewise, Brazil has got a solid and sordid Consumer Protection Act. So even though you are a multinational company, you have to follow the rule of the land, law of the land or rule of law of the particular area. If you don't follow, there is the problem. So anyway, of course, there is no comment from Apple side. They will be fighting so many cases. So like this Patent Act, so many copyright, so many acts, cases, that is intellectual property cases are filed against Apple company number of times. There was a stiff fight between Samsung and Apple, which was done in Scotland and also in America. A lot of times in America they were successful, but in Scotland they were not successful. So many things will be happening, but whatever it is, you have to learn that Consumer Protection Act, if it is raised, definitely it will be going to the help of the consumers. Number 2, the arguments also you have to respect or you have to hear. So to general environmental impact, they wanted to minimize the global warming. And second point is the charges are, the ports are easily available. And third part is already the people who are their customers, they are having the charges which are not accepted by the court. If you remember this much, this is enough. So a very good consumer case. If you want to write, you can write it as an example in your examinations. Right? Thank you very much.